Welcome to Talk 30 in our series where I'm reflecting on God's goodness to me throughout my life. Today my subject is finding my successor and saying farewell to Mattersey. From all I've said so far, it's been clear that the Lord had abundantly blessed our work for him at Mattersey, and there was no requirement that I should retire in 2004 at the age of 65. The system at the time was that my name was put forward for re-election every 4 years, and the next time this was to happen was in 2003. There was little doubt that I would be re-elected if I let my name go forward. But did I want to serve another 4 years and continue until I was 68? More importantly, what did the Lord want? It was clear that he'd been blessing my ministry beyond the college for some years, and an increasing number of doors were opening for me, particularly with regard to teaching internationally on the baptism and gifts of the Holy Spirit. Perhaps I would be able to continue teaching in the college, but make room for someone else to take over the principalship. The more I thought about this, the more I felt it was right. Guidance comes in a variety of ways, sometimes supernaturally and quite dramatically, and at others by an increasing inner conviction that a particular course of action is the right one. I've already described the wonderful way the Lord led us to Mattersey, and how, soon after we arrived there, he confirmed that the building we were planning was his plan too. But now, as no clear guidance was forthcoming, I decided that we just had to do what we felt was right and ask the Lord to intervene if it wasn't his will. I wondered if the AOG conference would agree to let me put my name forward for just 1 more year instead of the usual 4, and decided to talk to my friend Paul Weaver, the AOG General Superintendent, about this. A suitable opportunity arose when we both arrived a day early for a PEF meeting in Prague and were both accommodated in the same hotel. Paul assured me that he felt that if I decided to take that route, no one at conference would raise an objection, and we started to explore possibilities about who would be my successor. Colleagues had already told me that they couldn't think of anyone suitable, but I realised that whoever they were, my successor didn't need to be another David Petts. Talking to Paul, I suggested 4 names who I thought could do the job, and he agreed. However, I need to make it clear that it was not my responsibility to appoint my successor, though I would be part of the interview panel, and hopefully people would prayerfully consider any suggestion I might make. Having informally agreed these things with Paul, I referred the matter to the Board of Governors and the Executive Council, who all agreed with the procedure I was suggesting. As a result, Paul Alexander, a South African who'd been a student at Mattersey and who had gone on to found the Africa School of Missions and had been one of the 4 names I had mentioned to Paul Weaver, was appointed as principal with effect from summer 2004. He was, however, expected to work alongside me from 2003 so as to get used to the way we were doing things. I personally felt it a pity that he never really did so, but he did nevertheless make an excellent principal and invited me to continue teaching annually on the master's programme, which I did until 2015. But before Paul finally took over the reins, suitable arrangements had to be made to celebrate the years we'd spent at Mattersey. The Board of Governors asked me what I would like, and I said that I wanted opportunity to say thank you to all who had made possible the things we had accomplished together over the past 27 years. As a result, we ended up with no less than 4 celebrations. First, there was a sumptuous buffet banquet at the General Conference for all former students, staff and faculty who were able to attend. Then, in the final week of the summer term, there was a celebration meal for all the present students. This was followed a day or so later by another meal for all the staff and faculty, past and present, who had ever served the college during my principalship. And finally, there was the graduation service on the Saturday, where Ken Morgan, the chair of the Board of Governors, expressed appreciation on behalf of the college and handed me a generous cheque. It was also the occasion when the University of Wales conferred upon me the honour of appointing me as an honorary academic fellow of the university. I, of course, expressed my appreciation to all concerned and welcomed Paul Alexander as the new principal. 2 days later, we vacated the house that we'd lived in for 25 years and moved to Devon. Grateful to God for all he had done and excited about all he was yet to do. But that's the subject of the next talk. Meanwhile, by way of a summary of our years at Mattersey, I want to read you my final report as Bible College Principal to the Assemblies of God Conference held in 2004. It begins with the words, "Thanks be to God." This is something of a special occasion, as this will be the last report that I shall write as the principal of the Bible College. I intend, therefore, instead of reporting on events in the college over the past 12 months, to look back over the 34-year period of my relationship with the college, and especially the 27 years of my principalship, in order that I might place on record my profound gratitude to God for all he has done, and to those who have helped to make it all possible. My relationship with the college goes back to 1970, when, at the invitation of the principal, George Jeffreys Williamson, I became a visiting lecturer. It was during that period when, in January 1972, God spoke to me supernaturally in the middle of the night and told me that I was going to live at the Bible College. When David Powell became principal in 1973 and the college moved to Mattersey, he continued to use me as a visiting lecturer until in 1976 I was appointed by conference as a member of the Board of Governors. In 1977, David Powell offered himself for re-election, but withdrew his name at the last minute at conference. This led to my sharing the principalship for a year with Alfred Misson and Keith Munday, whose experience, expertise and advice were to prove of great value to me. I was finally appointed principal in 1978 and took up residence at Mattersey in June of that year. Thanks be to God for what he has done. The purpose of the college has always been to prepare men and women for Christian service at home and overseas. I feel deeply privileged to have been involved in the training of well over 1,000 full-time students during my time as principal. On leaving college, many have gone into church leadership roles, and those who have not have been better equipped to serve the Lord in other capacities. In recent years, since we developed our degree program, up to 10 each year have gone into school teaching. Several are now in prominent positions in the fellowship, nationally or regionally. Others are doing a great job for God overseas. We are so grateful that the money we invested by giving scholarships to students from India and Africa has resulted over the years in many churches being planted in those countries. It's because I passionately believe that the training Mattersey provides results in a better equipped Christian leadership that we've sought from the start to expand the number of students as far as our capacity and ability would allow. As a result, I'm pleased to report that there are some 500 plus students who are currently engaged on courses provided by Mattersey Hall, compared with the 48 we started with in 1978. We started the current year with 126 full-time BA students, 56 part-time MTH students, and 323 students enrolled on our distance learning courses. This growth has only been made possible by the development of both the programme and the campus. As far as the programme is concerned, much has been added over the years. Whereas we originally offered not only a two-year diploma programme, whereas we originally offered only a two-year diploma programme where all students took all the same subjects, we now provide a varied curriculum with specialist options for training in the specific areas where students are gifted or to which they feel called. Details of these to be found in the latest college prospectus, and there is no need to mention them here. Suffice it to say that Mattersey now offers courses that combine both academic excellence and practical relevance with a spiritual dynamic that reflects our Pentecostal heritage. But the development of the programme has only been possible because of the development of the campus. Thanks to the many gifts we received from churches and individuals, particularly back in the 1980s, the Lord has enabled us to improve the facilities on campus beyond recognition. This may be summarised as follows. 1979, construction of the principal's house. In the 1980s, erection of the Hall of Residence providing 120 individual study bedrooms for students, and the purchase of a playing field doubling the size of the campus to 14 acres. In 1998, the erection of the new chapel and 3 new classrooms. We are very grateful to the Property Trust for the help they have given us in providing a mortgage for this and for other assistance they have given from time to time. In connection with all of the above, I wish to place on record my sincere appreciation for the faith of those who've served on the Board of Governors and for the support they have given me over the years. It has not all been easy, but the Lord has stood by us, and by His grace, we now have a campus equipped with facilities commensurate with the task that we seek to undertake. Thanks be to God for those who have helped. Of course, there have been many helpers along the way. It gives me great pleasure to place on record my sincere appreciation to all who have served the college in any way during the course of my principalship. Worthy of special mention are my wife Eileen, who served as matron for 21 years, Dave and Beryl Allen, who have worked with me full-time since 1983, Brian Quore, whose experience in the building industry was most valuable to us in our major building projects, and William Kay, who has encouraged me and helped me to bring the college to its present academic standard. However, I'm no less grateful to all who have played their part, and accordingly, I honour them here. And in my report there follows a long list of about 200 names. My thanks to them all, and to any whose names I may have inadvertently omitted. Thanks be to God for what the future holds. Finally, it seems appropriate to say a word as to what I feel the future holds. As far as the college is concerned, it is clear that the job is by no means finished. I have every confidence in Paul Alexander, and I know that he has a vision for further growth and expansion. I entrust to his care the college I have been privileged to lead for 27 years, and the gifted and dedicated team who have been working with me. I pray that he will be able to take the college further than I have been able to. May the Lord inspire him and direct him to that end. I believe with all my heart that Mattersey is the best, though not the only, means we have of preparing men and women for the ministry. Potential leaders need to be encouraged to make the most of the great opportunity it offers. As for me, I've made it clear that I am not retiring from ministry. The call of God is as strong as ever. I'm relinquishing my responsibilities as principal in order to be free to serve in a wider capacity. As long as the Lord enables, I shall continue to preach and teach and write. I shall remain a member of the Board of Governors, though now in an emeritus capacity. Paul has kindly asked me to continue to teach some part-time courses that relate to the work of the Spirit, and this I have agreed to do. I will be happy to support him in any way I can. Thank you for giving me the great privilege of serving you. When all is said and done, I have only done what it was my duty to do. Luke 17, verse 10. But it has given me great joy to do it. To God alone be all the glory. Respectfully submitted, David Petts, Principal.